Redskins endure more injuries, but not a humiliating loss against winless 49ers. The Washington Redskins celebrated a victory Sunday at FedEx Field. But it should never have turned into the nail-biter it was. After surrendering a 17-point lead and allowing a rookie quarterback thrust into the starting lineup with no notice to not the score, the Redskins found themselves staring at an upset of epic proportions. All the outmatched San Francisco 49ers needed was a field goal to win. And on a 4th and 20 from midfield, C.J. Beathard, grandson of the former general manager who orchestrated the Redskins the Super Bowl championships, heaved a deep throw that could have set up such a kick. Redskins cornerback Kendall Fuller intercepted it instead, preserving a 26-24 victory that lifted his team to 3-2 but raised troubling questions about Washington's ability to close games, even games that never should have been close. As a measure of the offense's progression, the victory was encouraging. Cousins was 25 of 37 for 330 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, while rushing for a 3rd touchdown. Third down specialist Chris Thompson proved his value time and again, accounting for 105 receiving yards and another 33 on the ground. And as a measure of depth, it was encouraging, as well, with the Redskins' defense leaning heavily on backups to compensate for the absence of cornerback Josh Norman and in-game injury to fellow corner Beathard Breland. But as a measure of the Redskins' closing ability, the proceedings were bleak, with last-second heroics required to avert what would have been their second loss on their home field, this, in a game they were favored to win by 10 points. Game day, the pivotal plays that delivered Washington's win. Meantime, San Francisco, which fell to 0-6 on the heels of their 5th consecutive loss by 3 points of fewer, seems to have found its next starting quarterback in Beathard, who was sent in for the hapless Brian Hoyer midway through the second quarter. Beathard was 19 for 35 for 245 yards and 1 touchdown. Less than 5 minutes into the proceedings, there was no question the Redskins were the superior team. They scored on their first possession while forcing punts on San Francisco's first 4 drives, rolling up 153 yards to San Francisco's 11 in the first quarter. But as the first half ended, there was also no question the Redskins lacked the resolve required to put an inferior opponent away, allowing Beathard to engineer a touchdown drive with less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half, making it 17-7 at the break. The best and worst moments from the Redskins' win over the 49ers. The Niners, moreover, got the ball to open the second half. And though Fuller made a terrific pass breakup on 3rd down, San Francisco's Robbie Gould cleared a 52-yard field goal to narrow the Redskins' lead to 17-10. The Redskins ended up punting on their next possession when replay ruled Crowder's knee had been down before his second surge effort to wring a few more yards out of a 3rd down carry. A breakdown on punt return coverage set the 49ers up with a drive starting at midfield. It was a brief but costly defensive stand for Washington, with Breland helped off the field, unable to put weight on his left knee, after a collision. A sack by Matt Ioannidis brought up Gould for another field goal, but his efforts sailed wide. A palpable relief settled over the stadium. It, too, was brief, followed almost immediately by a calamitous sequence in which San Francisco knotted the score at 17 apiece as the third quarter ticked away. Tight end Vernon Davis fumbled, allowing defensive back Jimmy Ward secure the ball and race toward the end zone. A last-second shove from Cousins knocked him out of bounds at the 1-yard line. From there, Carlos Hyde carried it for the game-tying score. The fourth quarter opened with the Redskins driving. They'd given up 17 unanswered points, but followed one big play with another. Cousins rushed for 1 first down. Ryan Grant provided the next with an acrobatic catch. Thompson topped the 100-yard receiving mark with his next big gain. Davis redeemed himself with a catch that took the Redskins to the San Francisco 4. But the 49ers defense, which ranked 31st in the NFL on 3rd down stops entering the game, turned back 3 attempts to score from there. Hopkins knocked in a 21-yard field goal to restore the lead, 2017, with 10:34 to play. No Kaepernick, smaller anthem protests, but still plenty of opinions at 49ers Redskins. At this point, the Redskins' defense was without either starting cornerback and relying on rookie Fabian Moreau and former wide receiver Quinton Dunbar to keep the Niners' passing game in check. But it was San Francisco's secondary that gave up the big plays. Davis, at 33, turned a mid-range throw from Cousins into a 51-yard gain against his former team, taking the ball to San Francisco's 22. Cousins finished the drive himself, running 7 yards for the touchdown that restored a two-score lead, 26-17 with 3:28 remaining. The celebrating had barely ended before Beathard had his Niners in the Redskins' end zone, connecting with Aldrick Robinson on a 45-yard touchdown. Instead of putting the game away, the Redskins gave San Francisco a chance to eke out the upset in the final minute. More on the NFL. As another star goes down to injury, a rough season for the NFL gets worse. Owners seeking FOPA's help as players standing for anthem is not happening.